who will not play. He has a sore toe, and Drew Holiday rounds out the Bucks starting five. For the Atlanta Hawks, Kevin Huerter, Solomon Hill, Clint Capella, the opening tip. I can tell you that Coach Budenholzer won his 150 yesterday. The Bucks win the opening tip, $500 to Milwaukee's Habitat for Humanity, thanks to the Sargento Tip-Off for Homes program. Giannis Antetokounmpo, typically a designed play by Coach Budenholzer.
Yeah, that sure is a sight for sore eyes. See Giannis out there scoring that first bucket after 6 games out. No surprise.
Wins 150 games, the most by any coach in Bucks history in his first 3 seasons. Coach who had 149 victories in his first 3.
The Bucks have had 2 incredible seasons, and here we are in the third. It's a unique one. The record isn't as good as the first 2 years, but this team is definitely worth being excited about.
That first Bucks team won 27 games, and in seasons 2 and 3, Larry Costello, his first 2 points, he averages over 15 points. Leads the league with 14.2 rebounds a game. Bryn
Simon Trae Young sat out a couple games. He's going to have fresh legs for sure. That float game.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, the knees.
Out for 6 games. Trae missed the last 2, but the interesting thing in both the games that they sat out after, they both had over 40 points in those games, both Giannis and Trae. So I guess they earned a little rest.
Another 3 for 8 on threes Tuesday in a victory at Toronto, 108-103. Atlanta won both on its recent road trip.
Yeah, and it's good to see. You know, Giannis get out there, get a few buckets right away. Clint Capella in the paint is how you're watching, but he hasn't looked like.
Minnesota, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Led the team in all 3 categories. Hill with the.
That's an example right there of the famous Brook Lopez box out. He's in plenty good position to grab the rebound for himself, but he taps it to his teammate Giannis, and gotta love that if you're trying to get your rebounding numbers up.
Giannis has the case of rest.
Too long for Bucks fans, maybe just right for the season that they're having this year. But Giannis never has spent time off like that.
Drew Holiday. Same story with Clint Capella. He was out with a hand injury. In Milwaukee with the lead early. They've had to work for it. Great pass by Young. Hill had to come back to him.
On the clock, it resets. If it's a kick, he said, you dribbled off of his foot. It's still 2 seconds.
To get the rebound. Giannis sends Brook Lopez to the corner and goes to him. Capella tight to Lopez. Great job by Holiday to keep this alive. Giannis, drive, swing, Forbes, one more time. Not very sharp, and they have to work now as Lopez.
Possession like that is certainly something that gets the defensive coach always very excited.
These teams will close out their 3-game 10 days from now. That game will be played in Atlanta as well. Yeah.
And the way he's playing right now, taking his time, Euro steps, able to get to the. That's right there for Trae Young, but in a box.
Devil's advocate on Sunday against Charlotte.
Yeah.
Atlanta had 7 players.
Bottom dwellers. They clearly have talented players. Orlando, Minnesota, different team than Atlanta, but I would say maybe Atlanta is possibly the best of the worst. They're beating nobody good, and they're beating everybody bad.
They're in the East. So if I read between the lines, you're telling me you will not facing Milwaukee. Atlanta could take a dive here, not of their own making, but just of.
Yeah, they play Milwaukee within just the next 2 weeks. They play Milwaukee twice, Philly twice, Indiana, New York, and those 3. So they have quite the schedule coming up, and it has not been the case.
And again, between the lines, I heard you say that there are 3 tough teams in the East: Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Milwaukee. If they're the best of the worst, that means there are 3 that are
and
head and shoulders above.
And the records, I think, indicate that right now. The Bucks are 4.5 games ahead of just because of scheduling, but there's clear separation, I think, at the top right now. I think the contenders in the East are those top 3 teams, and Not sure anybody else really is at this point.
Brooke Lopez, another deep three. Lopez has doubled up Clint Capella so far, if you're keeping track of the matchup tonight. Field goals 52 on threes and 87 at the line.
Yeah, he's been on a tear. 5 threes last game, 8 threes in the game before that. And you just spoke to those percentages as well. So he's making shots and not missing many.
Trae Young using Capella to get to the restricted area. He dribbles through. Bogdanovich the miss. Portis, Lopez, Chris Middleton. Pat Connaughton for 3. He's been on a tear in Orlando, and then yesterday 4 of 8 on 3. He is heating up.
Since day one about defense and being more active on defense and things like that. And it's helped me out a lot to become a better player, a well-rounded basketball player, not just an offensive guy.
Anytime Coach Bud talks about Bobby's offense, he uses
Portis with the assist. Drew Holiday the basket.
Hey,
Onyeka Okongwu. Holiday gets to the paint.
Portis talking about always wanting to be a scorer, and now he's wanting to be a complete ball player. Sounds like buy-in to me. You always hear buy-in. Buy-in. Clear Coach Bud and this group has got him to do whatever it takes to win. And the ironic part is he's scoring the ball like crazy.
The Bucks go back to former Atlanta Hawk Jeff Teague. He missed the... I mentioned yesterday that Giannis Antetokounmpo was very prolific in his praise for Bobby Portis when I talked to him this week. And he knows of where he speaks because fouls.
And Chris and Drew, so we don't need you shooting it, but I think he just spoke to why it does work. He's played his role and understood he'll do what it takes to win. Giannis certainly, like you said, recognizing that.
Pat Connaughton. Nathan Knight, a two-way player for Atlanta in the game. He's had one season at Southern California, 20-year-old rookie from Los Angeles.
He's elite at those corner threes, spacing the floor, knock those down. Think about his Houston days. That's what he was doing.
To play in the opening quarter. Not a lot of separation. The Bucks have their biggest lead right here, 5. And
sometimes all of a sudden you're right in the fold and feeling like yourself.
Knight misses from the corner. Herter, the rebound, put back high Glasser. Giannis says throw it.